8th of November. In this video I just want to, put through my view. Everyone on YouTube's calling for a top in the share market. Gold's going to crash, silver's going to crash, the miners are going to crash, don't buy. It's sort of annoying, sort of. So I just want to give my, I could be wrong, but just, my thoughts, and like, if you did sell, when do you buy back, you know? There's lots of people with lots of subscribers, famous YouTubers. Anyway, so start off with the share market. Okay, so there are some scary things. You know, the US economy, blah blah, printing, repo markets, and blah blah. But the stock market and the economy are different beasts. Okay, get on with it. Ready? Okay, so the total market cap of the S&P is 50 trillion. The top 10 stocks is 20 trillion. Yeah, so top 10 stocks basically make up 40% of the S&P 500, which basically make up all of VGS. So is that scary? Yes, that's a bit of a concentration risk. And we'll just also go over the fact. So global gold miners is 1 trillion. And other resources 3 trillion. So the resources is a pipsqueak. Now, typically tops don't occur while companies are growing earnings, or when people are calling tops. And so just to have a look at the earnings, right? So this is last quarter's results of revenue growth. Microsoft 16, Apple 6, Nvidia 94, Amazon 11, Alphabet 15, Meta 8, 43, 7. So while you're growing earnings, it doesn't mean a crash. And the other thing, there will be games played though, because funnily enough, Wall Street has missed the run. So retail bought the dip and they didn't. So they'll play some shenanigans, but they'll buy the dips because they need to beat the retail market. I think next year it will be volatility as you start getting into midterms. But I think any correction will be bought, and there's no reason as for reasons I've just said. There is a theory running around that tech needs to crash and move into resources. But I think there's a bit of that already going on, and you can see you only need a fraction of that 50 trillion to move in, because we've got gold is already starting to outperform tech now, and that 60-40 portfolio, that traditional one, and you saw JP Morgan now says 60-20-20, so half of the bonds go to gold. So that's the, and just to show the so this is the gold price over the Nasdaq. So people, smart people will be going, oh shit, this gold's outperforming tech. So just to have a look at the S&P 500, so on the weekly chart. So yes, it could come down here, but I reckon they'll be bought up for those reasons I've just said. So everyone's saying it's going to crash now. All right, on to gold. Okay, so all these legends on YouTube are saying gold's going to correct. Well, you don't have to be a legend. It's a flagpole move, yeah, from here, and you add it to there, and that's a measured move. Which I did say. I didn't think it was going to crash, but okay, let's just say, okay, you're a smart trader, yeah. So this candle here, you'd have a bit of a shooting star there, but not really. so you couldn't call that a definitive top. Then here, this candle here is an indecision candle. You can see it went up there, went out there. The body's in the middle, so you still can't make a decision. Okay, so now you've got to wait for the week to close below this candle here before you should sell. Okay, well, it sort of went down there last week and then come back up here. So, you know, and so now we've got this candle here. so when do you? So if you see, like, it's so it's great. Well, that, because the other thing too is tax, right? Say you made this big profit on the miners and all that, and you sold here, so now you're sitting on a tax bill, but you need to get back in. So you end up. The point I'm getting to is you'll probably get back in at the price you sold at. So now you've got a tax bill, and you're starting again. Where if you just held on, a proper entry point, I reckon, would be where you sold. Sorry, I'm dragging on a bit. It's just because there's no. Yes, it was stretched, and we're at the measured move here. So even just say, I don't know, say you nailed it on this day and sold around here. By the time, it's still not a confirmed buy, right? That's not a confirmed buy yet. You probably need it to take out this level here, 4100, to confirm a new trend. So so then the other thing the experts are saying is that, so gold and the miners, they'll come up here and then they'll crash. Okay, so I'm just telling you what the not everyone, but a lot of famous YouTube people are saying. Okay, so you know, I don't know what's going to happen, but at this stage, I think you're better off still being invested, and let's see if it starts to stall out here. Then maybe, because part of the theory is they say it's an ABC correction, which corrections usually have like a B, C, but a C doesn't. A C. I'll go back to a daily. So you could say a B comes up here, but the C falls short. It might come back down to here. All right, get on with it, Rudy. So part of the big scheme of things is this is the Dow Jones index, and then we got the Dow Jones over gold. So this is the big picture. So coming down, gold's outperforming the Dow Jones. Okay, so we had a little bear flag here, and we're now breaking down with again a targeted measured move down to here. And the aim of the prize, which is what a lot of people say, is that to parity. So gold and the Dow get down to 1-to-1 ratio. But at this stage, that still looks pretty bullish long term for gold. Alright, so let's have a look at the miners. Okay, so go to a weekly. Okay, so again, so you can't, if you're trading this thing, okay, so you know gold's getting close. Oh, that's a nice green candle, so no reason to sell. Oh, that's okay. That was a scary candle. Finished the week below. Okay, so I'm going to sell. Or say you put a stop loss below here. Okay, so you sold there. So you've crystallized your tax, and now you're waiting for confirmation. And guess what? You'll probably end up buying at the price you got in at. Because at the moment, that looks very bullish. Okay, so could they, so they'll say like with gold, there'll be a run up here and then a crash. Okay, well, it might not. It might just keep going. So what do? You don't buy now. So hopefully that's making some sense. And the same goes for, say, GDXJ. So GDXJ had so that's a pin bar, a shooting star. Okay, that's a bearish one. That's pretty bearish, like up and down, and finished right on the bottom. Okay, so again, it's not a sell, but okay, it closed the week. Say you sold there. Okay, all right. So you got out, you crystallized your tax. Okay, so now you're waiting to get back in. And people saying don't buy now because it's going to come up here and then crash. Okay, we'll say you don't even buy now, and it just goes up. Then when do you get in? Or, as I said, if you sold here, nothing's confirmed until prices get above here. So then you're going to get back in at the price you got out at. So I hope that all makes sense. Now just a few other things to cover off. I've made a comment that I expect the small miners to outperform the big miners. This is the GDXJ over GDX, which is a true statement. But GDXJ is not. I mean, they're like Northern Star. All our big producing miners are in that. GDX are your Newmonts and Barracks, big boys. So I do expect GDXJ to outperform GDX. Someone asked, can you apply that down to, like, should we be buying explorers, developers now? I think the time we haven't got to mania phase yet with gold. We did the other week when everyone was lining up to buy gold. I bet you now, if you went to that place, there's like Perth Mint or whatever, bet you there's no one lining up now when they should be. So the point is, I think I'd still be hanging in with the big producers. I reckon they can probably still double from here. Or if you can stomach the volatility with the explorers and developers, then yeah, go and buy a whole heap of them, because they will outperform the big miners for sure. But I don't think gold's got to hit all-time highs and go for that to happen. I shouldn't forget my girlfriend. So the same thing goes for silver. Silver's going to crash. It's topped. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we look at silver. So we've got a shooting star at the all-time highs. Okay. Crash. Sell. Now, same thing. You can't just sell because you had that 1 week. You have to wait for confirmation. Okay. So you've broken it there. Okay. So you've sold. Yeah. And I've locked in my gain, capital gain. All right, when do I get back in? Or people are saying don't get back in, wait for it to crash down here, then buy. Yeah, okay, all right. And what about if it doesn't crash? What about if it just shoots? Okay, so back to, so you've sold here. Okay, so you've picked the top. Pat yourself on the back, because it has been very scary, as people would know. You've lived it. But then when do you get back in? Now, technically, you wouldn't be buying now, right? You wait for a break of 50 to be sure. Technically, from a chart point of view, even though it is a lovely rounded bottom. So, and the same goes for Silj. So again, so Silj had, okay, so there was your first shooting star. Okay, so you go, okay, you can see it there. Okay, shit, that's a topping pattern. But you got to wait for it to be confirmed. And oh fuck, look at that. Oh, excuse my French. There's another shooting star. And we went, oh shit. Okay, but still, just like that one, it's not confirmed until you close below. Okay, all right, we've closed below, so I'm selling. I'm getting out. That's it. Top's in. So I've sold, crystallized. Okay, so now when do I get back in? Well, again, technically, you know, you've got to wait for it to break above here. But I've sold here. So now, so I guess where I'm at is if these things come up here and start stalling and showing some sort of bottoming pattern, then yeah, maybe the big one's coming down. But what about if it's not and it flies through? Then what do? You sit on the sidelines and you don't play the game. All right, I just wanted to put it out there because it just gets a bit frustrating. Because I could be wrong too, and I don't know, next week it crashes, but and I hate people that make these thumbnails that get you to watch their videos. Anyway, that's my take on things. All right, see ya.